Johnny was running Los Angeles. I told you he became sober. And Johnny needed a car. And Sonny called me up. And Johnny was getting a car for somebody in the program that he was in. And Sonny wanted me to check the car out for him. So I called Johnny. He said, all right, I'm going to get the car. He said, as soon as I get it, I'll come over your place. He said, I'll be there first thing in the morning. I said, okay. First thing in the morning, no Johnny. His mother's calling me. His father's calling me. He's not answering his phone. All of a sudden, his message box is full. Can't leave any messages. And Johnny has disappeared. I assumed that Johnny went back on drugs. Sonny called me, asked me to come in. I flew in. Chris drove Sonny to the hotel, to Warwick. Sonny stayed with me. The next day we had a meeting at the hotel. Guy Furtado, Michael Catapano, one other person. And we discussed about what's the possibilities of where Johnny is. I said, Sonny, look, I got a private investigator. Let me have the private investigator do some checking around, see if we can find Johnny. He said, nah, don't bother. He said, don't waste the money. Chris came, picked up Sonny. I got in the car. My driver picked me up, drove me to Kennedy. Went in, got my ticket, check in. I walk up to the gate. And every time before I leave, get on the flight, obviously I got to stop in the men's room to have a cigarette. I walk out, two young guys are there. And they go, you're Ori? I go, yeah. No, right away, I mean, they were young kids, I thought. I thought maybe they were friends of my son's, and they saw that, I was going to be on the flight or something. And then they pulled out their badges, FBI. He said, we'd like to talk to you. And they took me to the side. I said, what do you want to talk about? They said, listen, Johnny's with us and Guy Furtado's with us. I said, I knew Guy was. Johnny's with us. We're going to give you an opportunity to join us too. I said, I ain't joining you. I said, but, I have to tell Johnny's mother and father that he's with you. We prefer you not to. I said, I don't care what you prefer. They're their parents. They got a right to know where their son is. And I said, I'm not joining you. They said, well, enjoy your flight because it'll be your last flight on an airline like this. They were correct. My next flight was on Conair. There was over 3,500 hours of recording on our indictment. 500 CDs, they had it. And to tell you something, when they talk about winding a guy up, they don't put a wire on like you see in the movies and all that there. Right in the freaking watches. I was on 11 tapes. But if you're on one, it's one too many. Sonny was on like 480. This guy Furtado, he became thank God he was the worst informant, as Judge Weinstein said, that he ever saw on the bench. Because when it got to our trial, they didn't want to use him against me. And that's how my drug case got dismissed. And I pled that 60 months was the minimum mandatory sentence. Now, there's only one way to break a minimum mandatory sentence. Only one way. That's if you're an informant and you gave evidence. So if I was an informant and I gave information like Michael Franzese or any other people proclaim, why did I do 60 months? Why did I do a minimum mandatory sentence? Because I never gave any information. I wouldn't do it then. I wouldn't do it today. The FBI came to me to become an informant. And they were saying they were threatening me with interstate transportation. They had nothing on me, but they were threatening me. But I was getting money from them. And they gave me some recording devices. One time I recorded the Oprah Winfrey or Rosie O'Donnell, one of them. It was Oprah Winfrey. I recorded the show. It was on a Friday. And then I called the agent. I said, oh boy, I said, these guys just left here. I got some good information. Oh, I'll come get it. Oh, hold up, I said, I need $5,000. What do you mean? I said, I need $5,000. Where am I going to get $5,000? It's 5 o'clock on a Friday. I said, you're the FBI. You figure it out. He called me later, had me meet him at a baseball park. Not far from the FBI office here. And he said, where's the tape? I said, where's the $5,000? Gives me the $5,000. I give him the tape. I get my car. I leave. I got back to I live on Swa Drive. My phone is ringing. What the fuck is this, you dirty bastard? There's nothing on here. I said, I don't know. I said, I told you, I don't know how to use those things. I had 12 tapes on the FBI. I was taping them of how they just wanted the Italians. They didn't care about anybody else. They only wanted Italian people. I had a lot of shit. I was recording them conversations. I needed to go on record back east. I didn't care about the people out here. Back east, I wanted to go on record. So I went on record with Joe Todaro, the boss of Buffalo, because Sonny was in prison. And I remember they called me from Joe's pizza place. What's it called? Bossa Nova in Buffalo. They were laughing like hell, Joe Todaro was. And he wanted me to keep doing that. This way we would know what the FBI were doing. But the important thing, I was on record. I had to go on record with one of the bosses. Because Jimmy did say, you're going to get in trouble doing this. Jimmy Cacci was the underboss here in Los Angeles. And he said, you got to stop that there. He said, when are you supposed to meet with him again? And I told him. And we brought this attorney, Mark Mazie. Now, Mark is an entertainment lawyer, not a criminal lawyer. But Mark went with me, met with the FBI, and told him, you got something on Mr. Spado, you let me know. Mr. Spado will self-surrender. And they were pissed at no fucking end. So we left. I come home. And get a call from Mark, the lawyer. He said, the FBI just called me. They said, you have one more chance to cooperate with them or else. I said, Mark, what do they mean by that or else? He said, I don't know. I said, Mark, tell them that you spoke to me. Tell them that Ori said, go fuck yourself. And I hung up. He called him and he told him that. I thought about it. And I said, they're going to put the word out on the street that I'm an informant. They're going to try to force me. That evening, I went to Frankie's restaurant over on Melrose. And I grabbed a couple guys. One of them happened to be, he was a bookie, and he was Sonny's brother-in-law, Steve Kuzo. I said, Steve, somebody's going to come and say I'm a rat. Let me know who that is, because that's the rat. I said that to two different people. They came back to me. Kenny Kaneko, Oriental kid that tried to be Italian, He might have changed his name. Kenny Gallo is his real. His real name is Kanako. Goes by Gallo. And he was friends with Mark. Now, Jimmy got arrested for violation. Jimmy was out on bond on a telemarketing case out of the desert. Jimmy's car was in my garage when he got arrested. And Mark was supposed to come and get the keys, take Jimmy's car, and bring it to his home in the desert. And instead, he sent Kenny. Now, here's Kenny. He's got Jimmy's car keys, and on that is his house keys. You think he'd do the right thing, drop the car off, give the keys to his brother and leave? No, he goes in Jimmy's house because he was working for the FBI. That's how it all began. Kenny found the tape, and he found other papers that Jimmy Cacci had, and he posted all this shit on the computer. But when the FBI first heard about being taped was when Jimmy had to appear in court in downtown Los Angeles, and when he was walking away handcuffed, and they're bringing him back to his cell or whatever, the 3 FBI agents were behind him. And they said, Mr. Cacci, you better cooperate with us because Mr. Spado is. And Jimmy turned around. You got to know Jimmy. Being cuffed, turns around. Spado is no fucking rat. He said, Spado's been taping you, and he's got 12 tapes. That was the first time they heard about those tapes.
Thanks for watching StreetTV.net. If you're not subscribed, please hit that button below and click the bell to receive alerts and notifications. Like and comment below to give us your feedback, and be sure to watch the 2 related videos to the right. If you want to support this platform or follow us on social media, visit the links in the description and listen to our weekly podcast, The Gangster Chronicles, every Thursday. And thanks for watching StreetTV.net.